So I was actually not naturally inclined to be a nurse because my mom is a nurse. I started to work in a cardiac rehab, and so I was exposed to nursing hands-on, people who are obviously not my mom and related to me. I started to consider the fact that perhaps being a nurse could be the career for me because there was a dual reward to that. So professionally, feeling fulfilled that you're doing something that matters, but then personally feeling that you're doing something that really is impacting someone's life is what made me cross the bridge to pursue nursing as a career. And I also, from a more macro perspective, wanted to understand how nurses fit into the healthcare system, and not just like that you show up to work every day and you do your job, but that there's another role there that is really impactful as a nurse. I actually got involved with ANNA in 2015 because my career shifted to where I was niched down, primarily focusing on the nephrology population. Read the core curriculum cover to cover, found ways to get involved, started attending the national meetings, started reading research that some of the members were publishing. Nurses have the most brilliant ideas because you are working in this environment every single day. You exhibit leadership qualities all day when you advocate for your patients that they need certain things, or if their treatment doesn't go as well and they need an intervention. That is what leads to new breakthroughs, innovation, and a culture of curiosity where we continue to iteratively create policy, procedures, processes that improve the outcomes of patients. There are really multi-levels for involvement, and none of which are inaccessible to any member. You do not have to have a PhD, you don't have to be pursuing a PhD or have any interest in getting one to actually be a part of a research team or lead research for serving patients with kidney disease. The research grants that ANNA offers, there are a few of them. You can go for various levels of funding. You can submit a draft prior to the deadline, have the research committee provide some feedback, ready to submit for full evaluation and potential funding. There are a lot of different opportunities. You can do an evidence-based practice study, you could launch a quality improvement project, or do a full research study, even if it's a descriptive study, meaning like you're just looking at an event and evaluating it without actually deploying an intervention and testing the outcome. You can do an interventional study, you can do a randomized control trial. The money can be used for things like your time spent doing the actual work, materials that you might need, survey tools, data collection tools, paying other people to participate with you, like a statistician. So if you are interested in the research grants, you can go to the ANNA website, link to the application for the various research grants that are available. Evidence-based practice is taking the research that's already been done and actually translating it into the clinical setting. So research and the funding of research does not mean a whole lot if it just sits on a shelf and is not actually being translated anywhere to influence patient care. At any of the ANNA events, there's an opportunity to disseminate the work that you're doing in your clinical setting or where you're currently employed. And those are through poster sessions. So you take the study that you've been working on, an evidence-based project or quality improvement project, and write it up from background to the method that you employed to what your results were found. It's way less pressure. A great start to just kind of get your feet wet and sharing some of the work that you've been doing. I think the Nephrology Nursing Journal really highlights what are the hot button issues occurring in the nephrology field that have relevance to nursing. It's always a great go-to resource for the current research that is happening. 3 ways to get involved with the journal. The first, read it. The second of which is use the evidence within your practice setting to share knowledge and lead change. And then also getting involved. So as you start to see, like if you have great ideas around training in home dialysis, maybe group training or that kind of thing, it would be great to write, even if you don't feel confident in your writing ability, but connect with anybody at the journal and say, is there someone who would mentor me in writing on this particular topic? There's lots of folks in the research committee who would love that opportunity. There is no one better equipped than you to do what needs to be done to positively influence patient care. It is pivotal to get surrounded by nurses who are doing the same work that you are doing, because it's empowerment It also creates change that can't be done with just one person. And so I encourage every nurse who has the opportunity to find a way to get plugged in at your local level, at your state level, and then at a national level through an organization like ANA.